This is Atomic Heart, a story-driven RPG first-person game that has just released over a week ago, and I have been playing it just so I can give you this review and tell you the answer to that all-important question. Is it any good?
You better love me again.
Hello again, you lovely lot. Welcome back to a brand new review video. My name is Gamester. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, for anyone who is new to my channel and hasn't seen one of my reviews before, I set them out in exactly the same way every single time. First, I will give you an overview of the game, then I will tell you how it works. Finally, I will give you some pros and cons with a little bit of personal opinion thrown in for good measure. And of course, as with every single one, the only gameplay you're going to be seeing is from the first hour or two of the game. So it is completely spoiler free. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, when you start playing this game, you are going to realise that it is an answer to a question that nobody asked. Mundfish, the developers, have tried to answer the question, what would happen if the Russians won the Second World War? Well, the answer seems to be robots, and lots of them, doing every conceivable task that a human doesn't want to do. And it's reminiscent of Wolfenstein, because in Wolfenstein you were asked the simple question, what would happen if the Nazis won the Second World War? And the answer is pretty much the same, so you can tell with this game where the inspirations come from. It's got inspiration from Wolfenstein, it's got inspiration from games like BioShock, and yes, it makes the game world absolutely gorgeous and really interesting as well. You play as Sergei, aka P3, the right hand man and good friend of Dr. Sechenov. Now, I hope I've said that correctly, but Russian is not my first language, so if I end up brutally massacring any of the pronunciation of these Russian names, I do apologise. But Dr. Sechenov is the person behind Polymer, a new technology that allows you to learn skills instantly. As you are on a mission, you then find out that all of the robots that have been serving the human race for so long start to go hostile and attack every living creature that's around. And that is pretty much the setup for the entire story. Trying to find out why they have all gone berserk and trying to combat against them. So how does this game play and what's it like? Well, this game is not going to do anything revolutionary that you might want to see. It's not going to be redefining or iconic, but it is unique in a lot of different ways. Ways that will make the game a joy to play. And yeah, let's be honest, it is an enjoyable game, but it is far from perfect. Now, for the most part, it tends to be like most other games. You got to find a key to unlock a door to the next area, or you have to solve a puzzle which will unlock the door to the next area, and that is how you progress from place to place, with little bits of cutscenes thrown in for good measure, explaining what is going on with the story, and of course the battles intermittently with that. Now, as you would expect with games like this, there are upgrades that you can purchase. There are character upgrades which will give you new abilities, more health and things like that. And there are weapon upgrades which can help your melee have a pounding strike or a circular strike for when you're surrounded by enemies, or for your weapons like your shotgun or your pistol, giving you extra clip space or just more power. So pretty standard stuff across the board, but the way that they have done it is you have got a level system as well, so you can just upgrade your clip size and then you can upgrade it again to get an even bigger clip, and it just helps to make it a lot more in depth. And further to this, like you would expect, there are resources that you need in order to upgrade, and these can be found dotted about all over the map. Now unfortunately, that is pretty much it. That's how the game works. So as I said earlier, there is nothing unique about this game, and there is nothing original about it. It is doing what other games have done in the past, and it's doing them really well. It's not doing a bad job, but this game is far from perfect for the reasons that I'm going to list now. Here are the pros and cons. Now of course I would be remiss without mentioning the visuals. The game looks amazing, like really top drawer amazing. As you can see on screen right now, this is part of the opening sequence, and it is absolutely outstanding. The level of detail is astonishing, and I have thoroughly enjoyed just walking through this beautifully crafted world. But, and yes, there is a significant but, as with a lot of things in this game, for every amazing point there seems to be a counter not so great point. And for the visuals, it's this. In certain areas it's dark, like very dark. Even when all the lights are on, it just gets very hard to see, and it just takes away from the hyper detail in these levels. When you actually look at these levels and you look at all the detail, you can't see it, and it really hinders what a great job they've done on the art style, in my personal opinion. Another point that I really like, and I wish other games did similar to this, using your glove you can loot a lot in one go, and it's really easy to loot up many shelves or drawers or filing cabinets or cupboards, and you can do it all in one go. You can clear a room very quickly. But the counterpoint to this one is only when it works. Sometimes you will try and loot things, and even though you're looking straight at them, it just doesn't seem to register that you're looking at them and trying to loot. So you have to look at it in a certain angle, and it just slows everything down. Now both of them points don't break the game in any way, but it doesn't help things. However, one thing that I wish they did better was the combat. The combat is clunky, it seems very sluggish in points, and there are a lot of issues with it. Sometimes you can get trapped against what is seeming to be a flat wall, and you can get swarmed by enemies, and them enemies can then just keep on pounding you until you die, and you're unable to block, you're unable to move out of the way, dash to safety, or even to destroy them quickly enough, and that is a major issue. I have lost count of the amount of times I've been stuck with my back against a flat wall and unable to move. This is just going to make the game more frustrating than enjoyable. But for the most part, it's actually quite good using the weapons. And finally, the dialogue. The dialogue is, well, it's not great. The dialogue is, well, listen to this.
What the fuck? Fuck me!
Oh, what a stud! I can't get enough. Jocks, let me tie you to the bed, baby. No need to fight back, sugar. You're gonna love this.
Don't let her bind your arms.
Can't you see I'm trying? Open to suggestions!
Bring me to her sensor manipulator, quick!
How titillating! Rebellious dominant men really turn me on.
So yeah, it's not great, it's not very believable, but it's just a personal gripe for me, and as they say, each to their own. If you like that kind of thing, then you're not going to find a problem with it. But for me personally, it just sounds like a horny little teenager wrote the scripts for the entire game. But as I said, personal gripe, not going to break the game. But now we've come to the point in the video that I get to at the end of every review video that I do, where I ask that all important question: is it any good? Well, the quick answer to that is yes, it is a good game. I'm thoroughly enjoying my time with it, but it isn't without its issues. Now, if the issues that I have mentioned earlier are the kind of issues that you will hate, I say do not buy this game, because it will end up frustrating you. And let's be honest, frustration is not fun. However, if you can get over the issues that I've outlined, then you are going to have a lot of fun with this game, and I definitely think that it is well worth giving it a shot. But you know how my review videos work by now. I will give you some pros, some cons, a little bit of my personal opinion thrown in for good measure, and give you the option to make your own mind up. Now that's it for this video. Thank you so much for everybody who's watching. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button right now. And until next time, I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell, say thank you for watching, and I will see you lovely lot in the next one.